What is going on YouTube? It's Sank. We are back with another one. You know what time it is, because we are moments away from kicking off a fresh new week in these markets. So in this drop, I'm looking to give you guys the game plan as we move into next week. So in advance of another action-packed week in the markets, I'm looking to put a few plays in the spotlight that will be winners as we continue through the year. You guys got to start getting strategic with the moves that you make, because there's going to be a ton of plays out there in the market that are going to remain stagnant as we continue through the year, but there are going to be some key winners. I want you guys to make winning moves as I say we progress through the year. I want you guys to know the stock market is always going to be a phenomenal tool to create short and long-term monetary gains. You guys just might need to tweak and adjust, mold your strategy as you continue through with regards to the industries that you're in or the time frame that you're holding on to these plays. So what would have worked in 2020 isn't going to work in 2021. What's working in 2021 isn't going to work in 2022. That's why I show up on the daily to ensure that you guys are one step ahead of the game. Now that being said, in this drop as always, I've got a jam-packed one for you. So make sure that you guys are getting generous with the likes of me so we can keep this show rolling. That being said, let's run the first play. So we're going to kick things off here. That's ticker symbol CLF. That's Cleveland Cliffs. Now the YouTube family, you guys know about Nucor and you're already hitting the numbers with that play. The Discord group know about this one. They're up about 30% on this play, but I want to bring this one to attention ahead of next week's opening bell in the stock market. Now I'll say to you guys, before you jump into any play, you got to understand the story. Every play has a story. With Cleveland Cliffs, they're one of the largest steel producers in America, benefited off massively the rise in steel prices that we have seen since last year. As a matter of fact, prices have gone up 200% since March 2020. So it's a given this play is going to move upwards because they're benefited from a revenue perspective, from a profit perspective, and that stock price has just been dragged along with it. But despite the run up we've seen in this one, and I know you guys are conditioned to fear run ups in prices, I'll let you guys know this is still a great play with a lot of opportunity to make you guys money. This is because these prices, just like the shipping industry that you guys know about, is going to move with supply and demand, and we know demand is going to stay elevated because as we continue through reopening, manufacturing demands from construction, from the auto industry is going to remain high and it's going to outstrip supply. We know there's supply issues, supply constraints, import restrictions, all of these things is going to help keep those prices elevated as we move through the year. That's going to make sure that this one is high up on your watch list as we move into next week in the market. Now, if we check out the charts, en route to $35 by year end, and to make sure that you guys make great entry on this one, because you all know it's about getting into quality plays at great price points. That's how you're going to maximize your returns. Now this one moves in a tight upwards channel. They just had a breakout recently, so I'm expecting this one to cool off, get into the middle of the channel or the lower part of it. Now the lowest you're probably going to find this play is around that $22.50, $23 mark. So once you guys start seeing the very low 24s, the high 23s, then you make entry, start easing into the play, building your position at those types of levels to get ready for the upside. Now, once you're in a quality play at good price points, it's all about the exit. There's a sweet science to this, guys. I'm gonna make sure that you guys take home the W from this one. Now, this one has phenomenal short-term potential and some good longer-term potential in light of all the infrastructure planning that is going on. But I'm gonna make sure that you guys take this one from a more short-term perspective. Treat this one as a trade. You guys know any play that we enter is either a trade or an investment. Treat Cleveland Cliffs as a trade. You want to make those 25 to 35% returns on the play from these types of levels. Okay, so I'm going to keep you guys posted on this one, so make sure that you guys are locked in once you get entry on the play. I'm going to let you know, I'm going to give you guys the call out when we start hitting profit taking thresholds for you guys to start easing out of the play and taking home the W, as I say. Our next play, that's ticker symbol MSFT, that is Microsoft. Now I'll circle back with you guys on this one after their blowout earnings reported this week. Now, as I said, earnings season is always going to bring its opportunities for us as investors, particularly when you see a play posting up great guidance numbers for the next couple of quarters, but the market doesn't react. It's quiet about the news. It's a golden opportunity for you guys as investors to capitalize on that play while the rest of the street is sleeping. And this is a play that fits that mold because their earnings came out accelerating on pretty much all fronts. Now the small shortcomings with those earnings were down to supply issues, supply constraints that is felt globally across the market, and these are temporary. So this is a great play for you guys to start accumulating and building your positions or increasing your existing positions in and around these types of levels. Now, as I say to you guys, no portfolio is complete without these types of cornerstone plays. And what makes a cornerstone? It's got a rich history, it's got an exceptional brand, it's got leadership in the verticals it moves in, and there's no slowdown in momentum, and this play just ticks all those boxes. So to make sure you guys are in on the action on this one. This is one of your buy and holds, your set and forget. You don't need to be worrying about selling out of this play. Your main focus should be continual gradual accumulation of stock to the point where a small 5% movement in this one will start generating you guys hundreds of dollars, then thousands of dollars, okay? Now this is the play that will close out the year around the $300 mark and then work its way through the 300s next year. So tons of upside on this one. Ticker symbol MSFT, getting on the action. Our next play, that's ticker symbol DAC, that's the nails. Now this is one that's made the cut for our stocks to buy Monday about 4 or 5 weeks consecutively now for very good reason. That's because these shipping rates are still sky high, playing into their favor. So as I say, management right now, they are just raking in the cash, and that should feed through to that stock price. Now the drivers, the pulls on the shipping industry, very similar to what I spoke to you guys about Cleveland Cliffs. Very high levels of demand, tight supply. So over the next couple of quarters, we can be rest assured these shipping prices are still going to remain high, playing into their favor. So that's why I want to make sure that you guys get in on the action, continue to accumulate your position. Now Monday is a big day for us, the nails holders, because they are coming out with their earnings. As I told you guys in the last drop, there is no guesswork needed. It is going to be a blowout from a financial point of view. But let you guys know how we move during earnings season. Earnings season often brings levels of illogical volatility to these plays. Take a Cleveland Cliffs, for example. They post up good numbers, but you saw that stock price come down on the day, 7, 8, 9%, just to bounce back 30% to the levels they're at. So what you guys need to do is just absorb a degree of volatility over earnings season with these plays. If this one comes down, ensure you've got dry powder to make the most of those cheaper prices, because they will make a rebound, and that's how you'll generate phenomenal returns in the play. So to make sure that you guys continue to get in on the action, that's ticker symbol DAC, that's the nails. Now, last but not least, we're going to round things off with ticker symbol WFC. That's Wells Fargo. We're standing $45. Check out the 3-month stock price. This one's been consolidating, i.e. trading sideways. When you get a play that is showing momentum, business activity is doing well, but they're trading sideways, guys, it's a great buying opportunity for you guys to get in on the action while the rest of the street is sleeping. So I'm going to make sure that you guys are moving in the right types of lanes. See, we kept it diversified in this one, giving you a play in the steel industry, giving you guys a play in the shipping industry, giving you guys play on the financial side of things, okay? It's important that you guys move in the right lanes, money-making lanes in the market, and this is one I don't want you guys to miss out on, okay? This is one that will climb to the $50 mark, so make sure next week in the markets, you guys make entry on this one. They've already come out with their earnings, street surprise rather, blowout earnings, and we expect some good numbers as we move forward, because we're going through economic reopening. That is going to benefit them with increased business activity, and if there's any level of increase in inflation, that's going to play into their favor. So make sure that you guys are allocating some capital, get this one in your portfolio. Alright guys, so those are the plays I've got from this one and the moves we're going to be making with as we get prepared for another action-packed week in these markets. Now if you're like me and you're excited, you are pumped to kick off a fresh new week in these markets, make sure that you guys are turning up down in that comment section. So if you've been rocking with the channel, you know what time it is. I bought some pins today around $59, thinking that was an overreaction considering only negative that they lost some users. Given reporting and moving out of quarantine, this seems like a given that the number of users would decline. Do you think that was a good move to buy some now, or did I miss something and it could continue to plunge the stock? Alright guys, to wrap this one up, let's do a deep dive into Pinterest, go over a couple of numbers and the moves to make going forward. Okay, so first up, Pinterest came out with their earnings. What you guys need to know is they smashed earnings from a revenue perspective, from a profit perspective, beat analyst estimates. But what the street was focused on was the decline in the US numbers. But on the flip side, they are growing internationally. I've told you guys the move with Pinterest is their international expansion. However, the move that we saw downwards in their US numbers was greater than expected, okay? I can only put you guys into play that plays that are gonna blow out earnings. That's what I do time and time again. Now how the stock price moves after that, it's a little bit more uncontrollable, guys. So we saw what I would call an overreaction to their numbers off the back of the slide down in the US numbers. But for us as investors, that doesn't cut the biscuit, okay? That's not good enough for us to keep them in our portfolios long term. We want only winners. We want leaders in their field that are growing consistently quarter after quarter. Think of a growth generation, guys. Look at the momentum that play is showing from a business perspective. Pinterest isn't showing that level of momentum given the slide down in US numbers. But here's the thing, we know it was an overreaction in the market, so there is going to be a bounce in that stock price. It's just a matter of timing. So I'm gonna make sure that you guys are all on exit watch as it comes to that play. So the next bounce up, as I say, when you guys hit the green, whether that's 5%, whether it's 2%, 10%, I would suggest that you guys exit the play. We're going to jump into another winning play that's going to make a lot more returns, going to be less volatile, less risky from an investment perspective. All right, guys, that wraps up for this one because I've got a jam-packed schedule this weekend. I'm going to hop onto a live stream, ensure the entire Discord is prepared and ready to make money moves in the markets next week. So as always, guys, if you've got any questions for me, drop them down below and I'll get back to you. I'll say I appreciate you on your way out. Light up that comment section for me. If you're new, join the movement by hitting that subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.